Ayyoub Bouaddi is on the radar of many top clubs this summer, such as Manchester City and Real Madrid. In this video, we will analyse Bouaddi's reading of the game, his technical ability he has shown in the French League, as well as his games versus Brazil and the Netherlands in the World Cup. Despite just being 18 years old, as a central midfielder, Bouaddi's reading of the game is beyond his years. We saw this on display in the Brazil game with his ability to sense danger and stop Brazil's attacks. In this game, we also saw Bouaddi's intelligence and energy in transitions after winning the ball back, to run into the space behind the midfield line to allow his team to progress the ball. Another trait we saw in this game was Bouaddi able to play into the fullback and then look to get on the blind side of the opposing player to then run into the pocket of space between the lines. Further into the match versus Brazil, we saw Bouaddi's ability to play forwards under pressure, as well as his ability to take the ball under pressure, carry the ball into the space and misguide opposing players in order to play between the lines. We also saw Bouaddi's quality on the ball under pressure when he was able to receive off the fullback and take the ball forward. Another part of his game, which was on display versus Brazil, was his composure on the ball when receiving close to his goal, where he was able to shift away from the momentum of pressure and look forward. We again see Bouaddi's ability to read the game and make out the path opposition runs to allow him to receive the ball and exploit the spaces around the opposition midfield line. In the French League, Bouaddi was able to show to clubs why he's one of the most talked about midfielders in the world, where he was able to show his press resistance. One of Bouaddi's trademark skills under pressure was the La Croqueta, where he was able to shift the ball quickly from his right foot onto his left in order to escape pressure. This skill was made famous by Iniesta, where he was able to escape pressure. As we see in the clip below, when the opponent lunges in, this allows the attacking player to quickly shift the ball onto his left foot to allow Iniesta to then push the ball in one seamless action. Another part of his game which allows Bouaddi to rank toward the top of the percentile of players of aggressive carries is his agility to move the ball away from different angles of pressure, despite Bouaddi being 6'2", as well as his weight of touch under pressure to make football look easy at times when under pressure by two opposing players at the same time, and then read the body language of the opposing player and where his weight is distributed to exploit the space. In the French League, he was able to show his ability to retain possession when playing in a more advanced role to stop the ball, and then again show his ability to evade challenges from different angles to keep the ball. Another way Bouaddi is able to remain in possession of the ball under pressure is using his frame and his arms when carrying the ball to keep the opposition player away from the ball, and then in the right moment change the direction of the ball to beat the pressure. In the next clip, we see Bouaddi's awareness on display after receiving off the right back to use his ball carrying ability, and then again keep the opposing player at a distance using his upper body to keep the ball safe side, and then has used his trademark skill to progress the ball past two opposition players. Another brilliant aspect of Bouaddi's game is his ability to evade multiple successive attempts at the ball from opposition players and find solutions using his body again when he slows down to stop the attempt at the ball initially, and then have the instinct to know the second challenge is coming to keep the ball. Throughout the 25-26 season, Bouaddi was able to show his composure on the ball when the ball was in the air to first take a touch towards the touchline away from the opponent, where he's unable to get a clean attempt of the ball, and then shield the ball and have the instinct to know the second fielder is in close proximity to allow him to keep the ball and carry the ball forward in an uncomfortable situation. In the World Cup versus Brazil, Bouaddi was able to show his ability to stop Brazil midfielders from finding the attacking players by closing down his opposing man. He was also able to show his intelligence of positioning to stop initially the pass into the central lane and then get across and make the interception after a poor touch. When defending deeper, Bouaddi was able to stop Kuna by using a fair amount of contact to slow down the momentum of Kuna and make the tackle at the critical moment. Bouaddi was also able to sense danger versus Brazil around his 18-yard box in order to force mistakes and win the ball back for his team. Looking back to the French League, Bouaddi showed intelligence to stop attacks and wide combinations by anticipating the movements from the fullback and stop the combination. Bouaddi showed at just 18 years old his potential of being a player that can create, but also a player that can influence the game defensively, with achieving 1.04 interceptions per 90, as well as 2.24 tackles per 90. Throughout his league campaign, Bouaddi was able to display his excellent timing of his defensive actions to allow him to get in front of his opponents and use his frame and long legs to get the vital touch and to stop 1-2 combinations, as well as his ability to stop third-man combinations. As Bouaddi receives the ball outside of his 18-yard box, he was unable to get away from pressure, but at the same time put the ball into an area where opposition players are likely to be, leading to Bouaddi losing the ball in a dangerous area. At times, Bouaddi in possession was poor on the ball when receiving under pressure, as when he played our first time under pressure, Gakpo was able to read the pass, allowing for the Netherlands to win the ball back. Despite it being one of Bouaddi's poorest games of the season, he was also able to show his ability to beat the pressure through his dribbling ability, allowing him to win the foul. In the second half, when he had more time on the ball, he was also able to use his passing ability and find runners in behind.